There was a time when creating felt calm for me. Not productive, not strategic, just calm. I didn't sit down thinking about sales or content or algorithms. I sat down because making something with my hands helped me breathe again. And then, somewhere along the way, creating started to feel heavier. Not because I stopped loving it, but because the reason I was creating slowly changed. If your business feels harder than it used to, if motivation comes and goes, or if you're starting this year wanting things to feel more grounded and less forced, this episode is for you. Because today, we're not talking about marketing or momentum. We're talking about the piece that most people skip, and then spend years wondering why everything feels so hard. We're talking about your why. Hey friend, and welcome back to Sparkle and Shine. I'm Cassandra, your creative biz bestie, and I'm really glad you're here today. I want you to just take a breath with me for a second. Because if you found yourself pressing play on this episode, there's probably a reason. Maybe you're in the early stages of building your business. Maybe you've started, but things feel heavier than you expected. Or maybe you've been at this for a bit and you're realizing something feels slightly off, even if you can't quite name it yet. This podcast is for creative women who want to build businesses with intention, confidence, and heart without burning themselves out in the process. I use my own business, Pretty Pineapple Bead, as my teaching ground here. Not because I've done everything perfectly, but because real experience teaches lessons that theory never will. And this episode matters, especially right now, because before we talk about dream customers, before we talk about offers, before we talk about visibility, we need to understand the engine underneath everything. Let's start by talking a little bit about what your why actually is and what it isn't. This is something I wish I had understood earlier. Most people don't struggle because they don't have a why. They struggle because they're operating from a surface level why instead of a real one. A surface why sounds like, I want to make money doing something I love. I want flexibility. I want to be my own boss. And those things aren't wrong, but they're incomplete. Because goals alone don't sustain you. Here's the simplest way I can define it. Your why is the emotional reason you chose this path instead of staying where you were. It's not about success. It's about alignment. It's the feeling you wanted more of in your life, the thing you were craving before you ever had language for it. For me, it wasn't just about selling jewelry. It was about calm, confidence, self-expression. When my decisions stopped supporting those feelings, everything started to feel harder, even when things looked fine on the outside. Your why is not a catchy sentence, a mission statement, or something you write once and forget. Your why is the emotional reason you started creating before it made sense. It's the problem you were solving for yourself before you ever thought about solving it for others. And when your why is clear, decisions feel easier, boundaries feel justified, effort feels meaningful. But when it's buried, everything feels heavier, you second guess yourself constantly, you look for external permission to keep going. Most people don't burn out because they're lazy. They burn out because they're building without an emotional anchor. I know because I lived it. Pretty Pineapple Bead didn't start as a business idea. It started as a coping mechanism. I was burnt out from a stressful retail job. My nervous system was fried. My brain was always loud. Sitting down with beads slowed everything down. Sorting colors, testing patterns, letting my hands focus when my mind couldn't. That calm feeling was the first gift. And looking back now, I can see that calm was information. At the time, I didn't realize it, but that feeling was my why forming before I had words for it. Then came confidence. When I wore my pieces, I felt different. More put together, more expressive, more like myself. And other women noticed. And without planning it, my why became clear. Color isn't just aesthetic. It's emotional. It's empowering. That purpose shaped everything, even before I had language for it. So, what does it look like when your purpose stops leading? Here's what no one tells you. You don't lose your why in one big moment. You lose it in small compromises. Choosing what's sellable over what's meaningful. Creating out of pressure instead of curiosity. Measuring success only in numbers. For me, it showed up when survival mode took over. Inventory piled up. Sales pressure increased. And instead of asking what feels aligned, I asked what might work. Creating stopped being grounding. It started feeling loaded. That wasn't a creativity problem. It was a misalignment problem. And this part matters. Misalignment doesn't usually show up as burnout first. It shows up as procrastination, avoidance, second guessing, starting over instead of continuing, feeling like everything requires more effort than it should. That's what happened to me. I didn't wake up one day hating my business. I just stopped feeling connected to it. Creating felt heavier. Decisions felt harder. And even simple tasks started to carry emotional weight. That wasn't a motivation issue. My why was no longer guiding my choices. How do you know your why is buried? Tell me if any of this sounds familiar to you. You know what to do, but you avoid it. You create plans you can't follow. You feel guilty resting. You keep thinking, maybe I just need a better system. Usually, the issue isn't discipline. It's that your business stopped serving the reason you started it. Your why stopped being the filter. And here's the shift that changed everything for me. I stopped asking, will this get me more reach? And started asking, does this support the way I want to live and create? That one question changed at how I looked at my inventory, at my content, at how much pressure I put on myself to perform. Your why isn't meant to motivate you. It's meant to guide you. When your why is clear, it becomes a compass. You stop asking, will this grow my business faster? And start asking, does this support the life I'm trying to build? For me, reconnecting with my why changed how I looked at my inventory, content expectations, in-person experiences, and what success actually looks like for me. It didn't make things easier overnight, but it made them honest, and honesty creates sustainability. Before we move toward the close, I want you to pause with me for a moment. Think about this. What was the first feeling your business gave you? Not the most recent feeling, not the stressed version, the first one. That feeling holds a lot of information. If this episode stirred something up for you, or if you realized your business feels disconnected from the reason you started, that doesn't mean you failed. It means you're ready to rebuild with intention. Your why isn't gone, it's waiting. And in the next episode, we'll talk about how your why connects directly to who you're really creating for. Until next time, keep showing up with heart, keep trusting yourself, and keep shining.